The next session is by Mr. Mridul Srivastava. He's the founder director of MarketingWorks. He's also the advisor of CXnet. He'll be sharing his insights on leveraging CX to empower DtoC businesses. Mr. Mridul is a global marketing leader in the communications and the IT industry and an ex-board member. A seasoned technology marketing professional with experience in defining and executing strategy, managing global marketing, and setting up marketing operations for leading B2B, B2B, and B2C businesses in global AMEA and Indian markets. Let's hear it from Mridul. Let's have a huge round of applause for Mr. Mridul.
Yes, okay. Good afternoon, everyone. How many of you eat pan? Anyone? Only one person eats pan in Chennai, but I see a lot of pan shops in Chennai, right? You don't eat pan? How many of you go to barber? Now everyone does that, right? Right? Why I'm asking this question is very funny, right? Why is it funny? Because when you go to your barber, you go probably to your regular barber all the time. He knows exactly what kind of cut you need. When you go to your pan shop, he knows exactly what kind of pan you need, how much to add, what ingredients. There's hundreds of ingredients. He knows exactly what is to be added when and where. Now that's a very, very basic starting point of customer experience. But then let's transform this business into the online world and what is called as DtoC, and you realize that the simplicity just goes off and it becomes hugely complex. How many of you sitting in this audience have a DtoC business or plan to start a DtoC business in the future? Who all have DtoC business? Oh yeah, I heard you, yeah. You have that nice looking leather jacket, right? I saw that. Anybody else who has? Okay. Now, no problem, even if you are planning to start, this is a really great session for you for the next 15-20 minutes when we are going to talk about what is important of DtoC world, what is the importance of CX. That's a very, very important thing to understand. The first thing is, it's a very, very busy world. It's a very busy world out there. And with every passing day, it is becoming busier. To get people's attention is not an easy job, right? Now, how do you actually hook onto a customer? How does your customer land on your website? Have you realized? So one way is what probably the companies which like Fable Square, which Mayur was talking, can do some SEO and your website gets ranked on the top. The other is you use some social media thing and you keep on browsing and suddenly you found some ad and you click on it and you go and probably buy and then finish it off. It's a busy world. How do you get the right attention, the right time? And then you get really the right kind of, deliver the right kind of customer experience. That's the very, very important thing. Now, customer experience is a complex phenomenon for delivering when you talk about a DtoC environment. But it has the advantage, if you deliver it right, you have the competitive advantage. In DtoC world, there are many Me Too players. I'm sure, and I was impressed with the story, your story there, right? That's the story I was impressed about. But there are so many other people who are also selling leather jackets. But that's the differentiation which you are trying to bring out onto the table. And it's very difficult to bring that differentiation in the DtoC world, trust me. For every Mama Earth, there is a wow. Right? Remember this. So you have to have a very, very strong strategy for differentiation. The second thing is, retaining customer is very difficult. I don't know how many of you know the DtoC business is going to be 100 billion by 2025 in India. 100 billion. And out of that 100 billion, close to 43%, which is around 42.5 billion, is only fashion. It's only fashion, right? And it's very difficult to sustain because every guy is selling jackets, t-shirts, God knows what. And it's very difficult to bring the customer retention. How do you retain the customer next time he buys the same product? Very difficult. And third, if you don't do the first two, you lose revenue. So in DtoC, the only sticking factor is the experience. Trust me for sure, you ask anybody, there is a brand of, so I usually use vegan ice creams. Now there are 5-6 different brands of vegan ice cream, they all sell DtoC. None of them have a store. Now you will buy one, if your experience is not good, you will end up buying from the other. And they're very expensive, they sell at a premium price. but experience that they deliver is fantastic. So they come with dry eyes, right? So it's not just it doing on the D2C world, but it's also the how you're delivering it, how the experience is. Then after that, you get a short survey for you to fill to say how was your experience, and then next time you say, okay, we have launched a new flavor. So all those things keep on happening, and that is increasing the revenue because we need to keep you to buy again and again. Now, if I look at the normal journey, what happens? I'll take out my car or my scooter from my house, go to a shopping mall. There I will have multiple brands and they will grab my attention. Then there will be interest. My wife, my kid, or myself might have an interest to buy something. I'll go to the shop, I will do the purchase, I will like something, I will pay him money, I will purchase it and go home. Right? And then there will be a post purchase. That's how everybody does, right? But do you do that in D2C? See, the complexity in D2C is here. What is the complexity? The whole cycle changes very fast. The touch point, the engagement, the purchase. These three things happen in one go, in one place. So you are doing it, so you go to the website, right? So your attention comes from some place, you go to the website, you immediately decide to purchase or not to purchase, you scan through products, if there is a comparison available, you compare, you click and you buy. So interest, attention, interest, desire, action, the four elements which you were doing in the offline purchase, when you take it to the online world, in the D2C world, it's all happen in one click, in less than 5 minutes. The average purchase time on a D2C is less than 5 minutes when you complete the transaction, right? That's such a short. Imagine you spend 5 minutes in buying a shoe in a Bata store. Tell me yes or no. No. But you're spending that 5 minutes only. So you if you are selling D2C, you only have 5 minutes to sell that product. And this guy in that 5 minutes has to decide, has to pay and has to check out. And his experience has to be fantastic. Then comes an element of what is called as delivery. Now delivery is equally important. Now how do you make that delivery? Because delivery is both online and offline. You understand that? But delivery, who all have bought a product from D2C environment? Has anybody bought here a product from D2C? I'm sorry folk, you hardly have any customers here. No, if you buy product through D2C, the first thing you'll get, your product is shipped. Or you will say, yes, we have received your order is in process, your process is shipped, it has reached your destination, will be reaching somewhere. Now, if suppose you don't get all this, and you have paid the money, and then you are waiting for that SMS to come when the delivery guy comes, compared to these two, what experience is better? Obviously the first one. And in order to deliver that, you have to bring in technology into play. And that is what happens. If you are not doing it, your people will not be, oh, I don't know what happened. I don't know, I have given the money, whether I'll get the product or not. I haven't even heard of the brand. What is this new people? I don't know. But if you are constantly talking to this guy, constantly telling him that yes, we are now shipping your product will reach you in 24 hours. And you some graphically tell him how far the product is from your home, he gets that enjoyment. So it's all here in the mind. So you have to keep that part as far as the delivery is concerned. Second is post-purchase. Now what happens in the post-purchase? I'm not sure if you are aware of the fact that in US alone, the online fraud with respect to return purchases is close to 25% of sales for Amazon. 25% of products are returned out of the total sale, and 25% of products out of that, which is 6.25%, is fraud. So there is a huge fraud happening in the return. Those of you who are really in the online business will know this. These are all intricacies, this stuff. So you will understand that the kind of fraud that is happening around that here. And there is a whole fraud prevention mechanism happening in the online in the D2C world. And if you are trying to do that, you have to be very, very cautious, because that is how you deliver things there, right? Sorry. And the last point, of course, if your experience in this journey has been good, you have advocacy, loyalty, and everything what you need. So, as I said, D2C, while everybody says you go and buy it online, fine. You go to online, buy it, but the journey is a mix of online and offline. The delivery is offline, the post-purchase is offline. Suppose you have bought a product and it is not now working, you want to return it, or you want to repair it, you want to service it. Those things are happening offline. And you have to have a mechanism of fallback, either through SMS or through app or through website or through whatever channel. You have to do that mechanism. So there are three elements where you have to be give importance for with respect to delivering superior customer experience. The first is the purchase, right? The decision making and purchase, which is purely online. That one is online. The second is delivery or logistics, where it is online plus offline. And the third is post-purchase engagement, which is online plus offline, both. So you have to keep the three things important. If you are not keeping track of this, then you will lose. Okay, so till now what I have given you is the basic gyan. But the question is, okay, how do I do this? How do I bring this into action? So you have given me it fine. All this I know, I can probably search Google. Somebody was talking of ChatGPT. You can go to ChatGPT, search it. By the way, I can tell you that in most countries, people are the customers are saying, I don't want content generated by ChatGPT. And also I'll tell you for your information that ChatGPT was created, the large language model was created as of September 2021. So any data after September 2021 is not there in ChatGPT. So if you are relying too much on that, please don't. Second, so what is the challenge? The first is data silos. Somebody talked about cloud. I don't know, it was a Dell person who talked about cloud. Data silos is the biggest problem. You don't know your customers. You have to have a very clear view of who your customers are. Who are those people they are talking to? And who are these people who are buying? How many people who are coming to your website and exiting without purchase? How many people are buying a particular kind of product? All that data silos which are existing need to be integrated. So there need to be no data silos, because they are there. There are many of them. Because what is happening is, when you are building a D2C website, right? So suppose someone has a D2C website and you have built that. Someone was talking about a school. Some lady I was there, she was talking about a school, toys, for example, right? You build a website. Now you use SEO of somebody else, you use some other social mechanism, and you're getting data from multiple sources and they're all not integrated. So you don't really know who your people are. You will never know why 20% of your customers are logging in, creating a user ID password and exiting out without buying. You should know at what stage they exit. Do they exit at the stage of payment? Do they exit at the stage of comparison if you have provided comparison? So data silos are very important. Second is personalization. How do you bring personalization? That is another very important thing. But there is a thin line between privacy and personalization. So for example, how would you feel if you get an SMS tomorrow as a consumer? You get an SMS saying, yesterday you were trying to buy a red necktie, the price of which has fallen by 20%. Now, which means that the buyer has complete data. He knows exactly what you were doing on your. Do you get this kind of? You know this kind of thing is possible. You know this kind of thing is possible, right? You were buying and you were trying to buy. You left the purchase halfway. Why did you leave that? Here's the new set of products which we have, probably which will be more exciting, right? So this is personalization. Another level of personalization is customization, where you try to do a more customized product and you can do mix and match. You can plan, you can plan colors, you can plan as much as it's possible. You can plan and do the personalization. The third level of personalization is that I know exactly your buying methodology. I know exactly about your whole demographics and psychographics, and I start pitching things accordingly. So that is the third level of personalization.
Next is omni-channel integration. In India, most DtoC purchases are done through mobile phone, logically so, because most people are using mobile. But a lot of people, and I know personally, a lot of people move at the payment gateway stage, they move from mobile phones to a laptop, go for a more secured payment option. Now, which means that you have to have a complete integration from one channel to the other channel. If you're losing it, then you're lost, right? So for example, your wife has looked for a nice toy for your son and say, listen, I want my husband also to see that this is the toy I'm buying for my son. How does she show to her husband? So one way is tell her, see, this is there. The other way is share on the site. The third way is that person also is on the same site and they know exactly the purchase history, what you're doing. Fourth, that you put it on a priority list or or what we call as favorite list, and it is there for you to see. So it's omni-channel, multiple people, multiple locations, multiple technologies, and multiple systems. It could be what you call as mobile. It could be landline you can even do online. You can complete your purchase through a telephone call. That is also possible. You buy and you complete your purchase through a telephone call. All that is possible. You can also do purchase through a callback system. That is also possible. So how much integration you can bring in, how much multiple things you can bring in, that is important. And that is where technology is going to play a very, very important role. And last but not the least, agility and responsiveness. Because if you're not agile, if you're not moving fast, I told you it's very, very fast, 5 minutes the person is going to decide. If you are not responsive, your website is not responsive. Imagine if Amazon website is down for 1 minute, it's a loss for Amazon for billions of dollars. So you have to be extremely agile, extremely responsive when you are getting into DtoC world. So it's not that easy. It's not that one day you decided I'm making very nice food and I can just put it on DtoC. You have to, if you have a plan, you have to think long term. Now, what is the role of technology? As I said, data-driven personalization, AI-powered customer service. How do AI-powered customer service is where the customer service, when I call you, you exactly know I have bought something, when have I bought it, what is it that I have bought, and what am I likely to be, my questions. So I can use a chatbot or some other kind of a mechanism to provide the service. And finally, if those pre-drafted questions are not what you ask, divert that call directly to somebody some human. So you have an AI human interface to deliver that. The third is, how do you provide more user-friendly interfaces? How do you do that? That is extremely important in terms of providing people to see things, to engage with it. Your website, if your website is not really responsive, if your website is not really good in terms of navigating, then you have a problem. Then you are not providing the interfaces which will allow a smooth selection of products. So suppose you want to compare, it should be very easy for you to compare, right? If you want to do something, you want to shortlist, very easy for you to do that. So things should be very easy, interfaces should be easy. And last, there has to be a continuous feedback mechanism, as I mentioned. Now, what are the emerging things which are happening in terms of emerging technologies? Has anyone heard, have you heard of something called A9? Has anybody heard of A9? How many of you shop on Amazon? So many people. How many of you sell on Amazon? Have you heard of A9? A9 is Amazon's latest algorithm which decides what product will rank where and when and how. So there are 200 people selling the same brand. Forget about different brands of the t-shirt, but same brand of t-shirts. How do you get there on top? So there is a whole algorithm which includes things like keyword search, which includes things like reviews, which includes things like usability, which includes things like post-purchase, which use things like a lot of things, right? And that is why there is a term called digital shelf. Anybody who is selling online has to know that his digital shelf has to be great. What is the digital shelf? When you go to a supermarket, right, there is a shelf on which the products are mentioned. So you will find a section where there is edible oils, and you will find all kinds of edible oils, health drink, all kinds of health drinks, right? So what you can do, you can find different brands, you can find different pack sizes, you can find, you can pick it up, see the content, do whatever you want to do. That's the digital shelf, and then you take a decision. All what is there to help you take a decision, which health drink you want to buy. Similarly, you have to create a digital shelf, and that digital shelf has to be AI powered. That digital shelf has to be technology powered, so that when you go there, you have just like a simple. You go to Amazon and see the digital shelf of a product. You will find multiple images. You will find AI. How will it look like? In your room. How that kind of technology they have. How will it look like if suppose you're buying a sofa, how will it look like in your room setting, and so on and so forth. So those kinds of things are there. It can also give you various other specifications like size, image, height, weight, whatever. So digital shelf has to be really, really important for you. So when we talk about emerging technologies, the first is hyper personalization, second is immersive experience, and immersive experience only come through digital shelf. You have to have a fantastic digital shelf. If you don't have it, you will not succeed in DtoC, mark my word. Third, predictive customer engagement. How do you predict what customer is going to buy? That is the very important thing. So you have to, that is why I said, don't put data in silos. Put data, integrate your data so that you can know how you will do this. I heard Dell person talking about predictive analysis. This is where the world is going to go. Last, or very, very quickly summarizing this thing, CX is a differentiator. We don't know, but trust me, is the only differentiator. The difference between two brands of t-shirts is not there unless the only difference is how my buying experience. That's the only difference. Second is you have to leverage technology. If you are thinking you will set up a website and you start selling, plug and play, do some Shopify, add a payment gateway, you will succeed for some time, but you cannot and you can never scale up. Third, that you have to continuously improve, continuously perform to keep on moving. Now, that brings us to, when we have talked about all this, this is a game of learning. This is where everybody has to learn, everybody has to come together. And that is where we have formed what is called as CXnet. CXnet is a platform for CX professionals and CX technology providers. So this is a place where technology providers as well as CX professionals or people like you join together and share ideas and understand the new things which are happening, because this area is moving very fast. This is one of the fastest growing areas. And how and what technologies you need to adapt to enhance your customer experience. Because if you're not doing that, you will be missing out. So this is an online portal. This is an online website which we have created called CXnet.com. And I think some of you, if you are interested, we can ask some of our people to go and show it to you. You just start learning. It's a learning portal where you start learning a lot of things. And then we are trying to bring in a lot of technology players on top of it so that you understand what technologies are relevant for you. Not everything is relevant for everyone. Maybe you need to just start with CRM, then move on to more of AI based technologies. So start working on those areas. And what we are trying to do here is, as I said, it's a knowledge sharing and learning. Second is, it also allows you to network, to understand what are others doing and how you can benefit from them. It also gives you a 360-degree view, a view from technology providers, a view from technology practitioners, people like you, and your customers. So you have to have a 360 view, so it gets you that. Then it also gives you a platform for how you can adopt innovation, how you can adopt new technologies. And it also gives you information around market insights and statistics and reviews and what's happening in the world, what trends are shaping the customer experience world. And lastly, it is a building of community where all of you can come together, start understanding how CX is going to transform the businesses you are in, right? So this is all what I have. I would just conclude by saying that don't think CX as a small thing, because that is the fundamental for your business growth. So all the best for those of you who are in DtoC or planning. Remember, CX is the only differentiator. Thank you. Any questions, anyone? I guess not. Okay, thank you.
What a wonderful session that was. I would like to invite our founder director, Mr. Sandeepan Ray, on the stage to felicitate Mr. Mridul. Let's have a huge round of applause for both of them.
Thank you.